Is there a limit on how many stores you want to have?
There's a limit on how many stores I want to have in this, I guess, how many businesses in this industry, to an extent where like my goals on my list is, what does 40-year-old Trevor want to do? Like I'm 32 right now. I got some time, but what does 40-year-old Trevor look like? Do you want to see him on Instagram telling you to buy supplements at 50 years old? Like I got to be self-aware. And I think that's what a lot of people who set their goals are. They aren't self-aware of like their situation they're in. Like if someone wants to be, I hate to say it, like if someone wants to be like a professional hockey player and they live in a city that doesn't have those, those programs, your odds are against you. So you got to be self-aware that in order to get to that point, you got to go change some things in your life. So if me at 40 doesn't want to be on social media or 50 years old pumping supplement videos or like running the stores, running the retail day to day, what does 40-year-old Trevor look like? That might be I maybe buy commercial real estate or I get into real estate after that fact. But in order to get there, I got to use this first means of avenue to get there. So a lot of people aren't like really self-aware of the situation they're in to make their goals happy. They sometimes set unachievable goals in the sense of like, you're never going to get that Lamborghini you want because you're spending too much money on something else. Like you have a habit of going to the bar and drinking, or you have a habit of like, eating out to fancy restaurants. That habit is going to greatly influence your lifelong goal of buying that Lamborghini, buying that supercar of your dreams. Whereas if you're self-aware enough, or you're aware that one thing's going to hurt the other, you can cut something out, or you can change something early enough that it'll get you there faster. So it's kind of like the ladder effect. Same with like bodybuilders or like people who want to be in shape. Like you don't get fat overnight. You don't get in shape overnight. It takes some time. So I always looked at it as like, look at it as a ladder. You climb up 2 rungs and then you go down 1, but you're still 1 up. So even though one thing knocked you back down, you can keep going up. So I look at as a cap as like, when the timing's right, I know when it'll be enough. And I'm not there yet because I still love doing what I do, but like I'll know when I look at myself on a Instagram post and I'm like, I don't think these kids want to see a 40-year-old me, telling them to pick up protein anymore. Like I got to be self-aware enough to like get my ego aside and be like, I don't want to be on camera anymore. I don't want to be in the store anymore because I might be more doing like not growing the business the way it should be. So another thing my father always told me is like, in your own business, if anyone's out there listening to like open their own business, you got to create yourself a job title and create yourself like a task, a list of things you want to do in a day. And if you have that job title, you'll know that you have a purpose at that job anymore. You're not just showing up and like kicking your feet back. You have a job to do too. And when you're at a point where you have no more jobs to do, it's time to find another job. Time to find another job either in your industry, in your business, or you start opening a new business. Because if all my jobs are done today, I got a successful business going. Everything's taken care of. Every aspect of that business is looked after. And then after that is like, maybe then I'll get into like commercial real estate or something. But till then, I got stuff I got to do every day.
See, I went through that phase last year at our old location. Probably for 3 months, I felt like I had no purpose.
Right.
Because things are just being done. And when you're
trucking along, right?
Yeah, you're in. I was in the grind for so many years and everything needed help. Like whether the kitchen, deliveries, marketing, anything, you're doing it all. Then all of a sudden you have a team that's now doing it all. And
that's that ladder effect. You were there, you did it, you got 2 rungs up, and then you got someone to like help you out. And you might have had a problem, you took a step back, but then you got 2 more up. And then that's where like, I think that moment where you realize where like you didn't have a purpose anymore, all those rungs on that ladder were filled, or all those steps were taken care of. So that's the way I look at it too. And I was there too at that 3 store mark. I was like, you know what? I was like, we got a good system going here. I could stop. I could stop and live a really good life and have work 6 hours a day. You go have this lifestyle I wanted. I'm like, or I could hyper expand, not even expand, like hyper expand, like take a full entire city over or market over and just get to that same comfort level. But now I have 12, I have 10, 13 stores. And I was like, let's do it.